Good evening. Welcome to Sunday show. Time is about 6:25. It's kind of hot outside today. So I'm going to try something again. See if I don't screw this up. Okay. In this video is Ashley. You said, who is Ashley? She is Lynette Michelle Preston of Otter Creek, Florida. This is her stepdaughter, one of many stepkids that she has abused. If you've been following What the Hells, you know what I'm talking about. This young lady has been abused. I think she got 3 or 4 videos. I'll bring you this one, and I'll bring you some more. I make this a 3-day show. So I want you to hit that notification bell. Subscribe to my channel. So let's get started.
Paint your nails type of mom to the yelling and the screaming and the hitting type of mom. I don't remember when that changed. I don't remember. But I do know when it got really bad. It was in high school. I would go to school with bruises on me all the time. Not a big difference from the usual. I was able to hide them. I wore jeans all the time. I blamed it on animals, or I blamed it on the fence, or I fell down while I was doing something, and blah, 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 blah. Somebody's comment did not come through. So whoever you were that just commented, try to but yeah, I would, I'd go to school with bruises on me, and I'd just tell my friends, tell whoever what was going on. And mind you, I was going to a very small school. Wrapped around her finger. Yeah, I didn't see that. My dad and her were only together till I was 8, I think. Who sent you my TikTok? Excuse you, ma'am. You're not getting out. Oh, yay. Lynette has sent my TikTok out to people. So she's again stalking. No, thankfully my dad saw her crazy real quick. And yeah. they were only married a couple of years, if I remember correctly. We were actually living in Florida, and I remember faintly remember her waking me and my sister up and putting us in the car and telling us we were leaving.
Okay.
And we left. And I don't remember where we went after that. But basically stole me from
You
my
hear
father.
it, people. She
from my
was
dad.
kidnapped by Lynette Michelle Preston. You know, you can't believe what Lynette Michelle Preston and Alder Creek tell you. This tank came straight from her stepdaughter. Let's get back to it.
So yeah, she and kept me from him. Hey. For years, my dad's side of the family tried to get in touch with me, tried to get away from her, and she didn't allow it. My aunt and uncle, they tried to get me to come live with them.
See, people, by being a stepmom, you do not have the right to kidnap her. That's what she did. There's probably going to be future charges and all of this. You know, you can make your own judgment about Lynette Michelle Preston, also known as the Turtle Lady, that lives across the road from What the Hells. If you've been watching that, you know what I'm talking about, that crazy woman. You know, there's more to come.
And they couldn't make that happen for the longest time. They tried to call me on my birthday, on Christmas, all the holidays. No, she did not adopt me. She tried as an adult. She tried to do an adult adoption for me. And, me being one of those people, whatever. I was like, oh yeah, sure. What does it matter? But I was so striving to have that motherly connection with her, with anyone, that I was willing to do anything to please her. I was literally willing to do anything, even after her other daughters stopped talking to her and, kicked her out of their lives. I was the only one there, and she still made me feel like I was not good enough. And that was my whole life. I was never good enough. So the thing with my dad is he had child support issues, and she would call and tell them where he was, and he would be paying on it, but by the time that he had been paying it, it racked up. So they put him in jail, which is so stupid to me. I do not understand that. I don't understand the child support system. Like, it blows my mind. Why are you going to put somebody in jail for not paying when they're trying to work to pay it? If they're in jail, they can't freaking pay it. Anyways, my dad would let me stay with her because he didn't want to go to.
Okay, if you don't know who this lady is, Ashley, if you've been watching What the Hell, you know, Jeremy and George, they're snowbirds who lives in Alders Creek, Florida, which I think they be on the night live about 8 o'clock. You know about Lynette Michelle Preston, the turtle lady. This is her stepdaughter. And this is her story, which is about 3 parts to it. And that show you how Lynette Preston abused the kid since she got this 4-year-old baby that she possibly kidnapped and forged adoption papers. And what I've seen on a paperwork, as you all people has, is have you ever been arrested? Have CPS ever took your kids away? She said no all on all that. That's perjury. So thank you for being a subscriber. Since I've learned this from word, which you all know who he is, yeah. Hello, Mama Red. I guess got internet problems tonight. That's when it's showing up on my screen. Oh, Mom Maria, along with the internet. Everybody's been having problems with their internet. What's going on with StreamYard?
And saw handprint bruises on my arms. Saw handprint bruises on my arms. Take that one. I tried, but hold on, I'm gonna switch directions. Ooh, there's a hole there. I almost fell. That probably made you a little bit dizzy. Okay. Now the sun's not showing my phone, I can actually see it. So I finally broke and I told my friend what was going on. I didn't say anything, that it would only make it worse. Um, Sure enough, she decided to ignore me, and she went to the school counselor, who then called me in. And that, the yelling and the screaming, she stopped the hitting because she didn't want to leave bruises. But the yelling and the screaming, she took away stuff. I legit had a bed, mattress on the floor. I legit had a bed, mattress on the floor, with a blanket, and my clothes. That was it. Um,
Hold on.
as soon as he showed up, complete. Is my picture still froze?
No.
So I may need to move closer to the house. But complete turnaround. She, oh, hi. How are you today?
on.
Okay. So I come in with some candy, not even thinking, and immediately I get jumped. Where did you steal that from? You can't have that. I can't believe you would steal candy from someone. Where did you get that? Da, 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 da. Losing her mind over a piece, one piece of candy. Well, fine. You
Those
can
were
deal with her then.
StreamYard people. Sorry about that.
He's like,
Don't ask
okay.
me why. I guess
He looks
everybody's
around her
having
at me
problems with
and he says,
that this
get your stuff.
weekend.
We're leaving. So I'm like, okay. I went and I grabbed a bag full of clothes. I just started throwing shit in a trash bag. I didn't even care what it was. I just threw it all in a trash bag. Um, so I throw everything in a trash bag. And as I'm walking out the door, she goes, that's not yours, it's mine. And tears the trash bag out of my hands. Throws my stereo that I had gotten from my brother onto the floor. So she says that I can't take anything, that she bought it, it's hers. None of that is mine. So I said, fine. I grabbed a handful of clothes. I don't even know what I picked up. I just grabbed whatever I can fit in my hands. Grab that, grab my stereo, and run out the door. Literally with an armful of clothes. That's it. We, he got me in the car and we drove around town for a good 2-3 hours. He had nowhere for me to go. So that tells you right there how bad it really was. He took me from her without having anywhere for me to go. Anywhere. He was calling around for 2 to 3 hours trying to find a home to put me in. And I almost had to go to the youth shelter again. Finally, he found somebody that had a room. They were able to take me in. Whole nother story there. But I went there. Eventually, I was able to go live with my my aunt and uncle and reconnected with all of my family and learned about all of them trying to get in touch with me for these 10 years. Yeah. So hi, babies.
She's talking to her chicken.
Hey, Shay. So when people ask, like, comment about my language, it really bugs me. Especially when I'm talking about her. I have kept it very mellow this live because I am aware of the fact that some of those people may be watching and I want to respect them. I do. But when the video that everyone watched, she was messaging me and calling me a liar and threatening my kids and threatening DHS and threatening to get my kids taken away from me. I was not about to PG myself for that woman. That video was directed at her. And why am I not pressing charges on her? Because of my kids. I do not want my kids around that craziness. I can't put them through that. I feel
She talked about Lynette
brokenhearted
Michelle
for Mother
Preston,
Grace.
her
I do.
ex-stepmom.
But I have called who I could. Going to watch what I say. I have not called CPS. I have talked to other family members. But I personally have not called CPS because I can't. I am not. Here's the thing that nobody understands. If you are not there, if you are not physically there in that child's life, they are not going to listen to a word you say.
I agree. Okay, that's all of her video. So I want to thank you all. This is the second time I done StreamYard sharing. If you all watched TV last night, Triumph Beware, I got to be on his show. And if you all watched it last night, a YouTuber, I think it was in the state of Texas, he being the shaft put to him, if you know what I mean. And all this. I gave him some ideas of certain lawyers, like the umbrella guide to go make it really get it out there. And Megan Fox, the writer, MG Law, I said, ask him some questions. And I said, contact the Institute for Justice, they're civil rights lawyer, property and other stuff. And it, I enjoy TV live stream. I want to thank him and the other young man with the whiskers. I guess I can call him Santa Claus. So I'm hoping by doing sharing like it, I can pick up more subscribers. I want to thank all you YouTubers out there. Remember when you first got started, you might not have good stories or good content. People start subscribing to you. I hope you subscribe back to them. You know, always help out new YouTubers. You know, TB didn't have to help me, but it helps out when you got nice YouTubers who's honest and not full of crap and lie to you. And well, Timothy McGee must be on the floor bugging the heck out of my son. Every time you go in the kitchen, Timothy McGee jumped down while the other cat's sitting up there looking at, what you doing, you dumb blankety blank cat? So you know you ain't supposed to jump down every time somebody come in the kitchen? In a few months, I guess I had him a year, but he is dumb as they come. And I do another part. I think that was part 2, the one that says, I think there's part 3 and 4. One of them, she's in the bedroom. And she cried and had to turn the camera off. Since you watch What the Hells, thank you for the rose, everybody. And like yes. And she cried. Look, you all done broke my table. Now get off of the table. That goes for you. Sock, come on. I'm going to whip your butt. You heard me talk to them about staying. Get off the table, Margaret. So, but I kind of like StreamYard, but man, this must be internet problems weekend. I probably could done that court case. I guess I can do that, I would think. You know. But people, about an hour from now, don't forget to watch What the Hells. And and see what he talks about. Let's see what I can present to you from YouTube. Like I said, people, I'm new at sharing. And I want to thank TB. You all know who TB is. So I don't know what case it is. It's the defendant father's attorney. He's back. Or
Officer put you in custody for contempt if you keep interrupting and taking over like you do it. All right, our next one is Bill. Are you here?
Judge, I just sent him the Zoom link.
Okay,
He'd asked me to give that back to him.
is that him?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and take that up then. We are on the record in,
That's right.
okay, we're on the record in 2023 CR 157, State of Kansas versus Antonio Manuel Perez Bill. Please announce appearances.
May it please the court, the state appears by Jill Gillette, County Attorney.
Richard Paw on behalf of Mr. Perez Bell, who appears via Zoom at a separate location in council.
All right, I have some other folks here I want to identify. Joseph Simon, what's your connection to the case?
Judge, they're witnesses that are subpoenaed for
Okay.
today.
So he is a witness, and next to him is? Who's
Sydney Simon, I believe, she's subpoenaed as a witness as well.
Is that Mr. Simon? Is that Sydney Simon beside you?
My wife's next to me,
What's her name?
Kimberly Simon.
Kimberly. Is Sydney there or anywhere to be seen?
I seen her come into the meeting.
Okay. Kimberly. I see someone on the iPhone. Who's on the iPhone? The young lady with the long hair and the black jacket.
I'm Sydney. Yes, I'm Sydney.
Okay, and you've been subpoenaed to be here. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So we are set today for preliminary hearing. This is not the first time we've had a hearing, and I see we've just been joined by Deputy Fisher. I presume he's a witness too.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, this case, the first appearance was August 15th of 23. And the defendant said he was going to hire an attorney at that time. Then September 29th of 23, he said he didn't want a court-appointed attorney. Says he was self-employed, but hadn't filed a 21 or 22 tax return and didn't know how much he made per month. He said he made at least 70,000 reportable income the previous year. So he convinced me not to appoint him an attorney and that he could handle it. Then November 17th of 23, he came in and said he had still not retained counsel. He planned on Marianne Shirley, but had changed his mind and was going to hire someone else. So there's 3 hearings in 23 that he's pretty much said the same thing. I'm hiring an attorney. He came in January 5th of 24. Told then presiding Judge Murphin that he was proceeding to hire an attorney. So that's 4 hearings in about 5 months. February 16th of 24, he was in person and with attorney Richard Paw. He had actually hired an attorney, a very one who is very familiar to the court, very capable, very qualified, and very diligent for his clients. Then we came back. Then I have a note, February 29th from the clerk, or from Missy, says, I received a call from Anthony Bill stating Sydney Simon has been driving by his house, honking, liking his Facebook and TikTok posts, and she texted him. Also, he stated she wouldn't give him his kids this week. And Missy told him to call his attorney, that they could consider calling law enforcement about harassment. If he felt like he was being stalked, he could file a PFS. So that brings us up to date, I think. No, we were here April 17th. Let's see. 2 days ago, Missy got a phone call. We weren't here. It was a phone call from the defendant. He wanted a change of venue. Again, he was referred to his attorney. He said his attorney didn't agree with the change of venue. She told him he hired his attorney. If he didn't like the way his attorney was handling the case, he could do it differently. But she did tell him a motion for change of venue needed to be filed if that was what was going to be pursued, and it would be ruled on.
Go
He
lay
also asked for
down.
the pending case
Come on, I'll
numbers for his other court dates and cases. Apparently, he has some not only here in Greenwood, but Elk as well. Now, he says he doesn't think he'll be dealt with
Goodbye, Asher.
fairly, and that Mr. Paul makes a lot of money off Greenwood County appointments. And Miss Shirley has stated that Jill Gillette doesn't like him. And I presume the defendant says to Missy he has a personal relationship with Jill Gillette's boyfriend, David, and that maybe the defendant remodeled David's house a few years ago. And
it all starts with a Chevy truck. Chevy's
People, hit the subscribe bell, hit the thumbs up. Tell me how you like what I'm doing now.
And he knows they have discussed his cases. I presume, and that's all it is, a presumption, he means Miss Gillette and her boyfriend. So let's see. I think the first order of business is a change of venue. I'm denying that at least at this point for preliminary hearing. If you're not bound over, you won't need the motion. If you are bound over, you can take that up before the next judge. But I see no reason why we should change venue for preliminary hearing. He also, so are you saying you want to remove Miss Gillette as the prosecutor? Because, tell me why.
I feel like I'm facing unfair judgment,
Okay,
Your Honor.
Whoa, yeah, you're right. Go ahead, let's hear you, Mr. Paul.
Judge, I sent an email to court and counsel this morning. I've been in court the last couple of days. Earlier this week, I believe it was Wednesday, when Mr. Perez-Bell called the court. He had asked me to withdraw on those cases, on his case. I believe it comes down to a breakdown in communication. My assistant's been out, so I haven't been able to file that motion, but I'm doing that as an oral motion, Judge. And if you grant that, then I would like to no longer be in the proceedings for today.
Actually, I am going to deny the motion.
I didn't tell you cats.
Paul to withdraw for this
You've
hearing.
been told not to get on the
Defendant
table.
has been telling me he was going to hire an attorney since August 15th of 23. He's told me that over and over again, and he finally did it, and I'm going to hold him to it, at least for this hearing. We have the witnesses subpoenaed and we're ready to go. So
Judge, I would.
What happened? I'm picking internet go down or something.
You know, based on this, I do not feel comfortable going forward with Mr. Perez-Bell.
I would like to speak.
Just hold on, Anthony.
I want to speak. I want to say what I
Judge,
have to say.
he's already told me that he does not want me to do this hearing, and I've reached out to
Mr.
Anthony. Let me speak.
Mr. Bell, let Mr. Paul speak.
Judge, and you know, when he told me Wednesday honestly, Judge, I quit working on his case. So because he told me he didn't want me working on his case anymore. So I take my clients at their word, and this isn't some delay tactic.
I understand.
Definite breakdown in communication, Judge. So, if you're keeping me on for today, I know that it ruled on formally, and go forward at that point. And if you will not let me off of the case, then I will have adequate time to prepare, because basically I was fired Wednesday, Judge.
You were not fired. It was a mutual decision.
Well,
Okay. First of all, Mr. Perez Bell, you are not in charge here. You probably think you are because you've delayed this case so long and kept it from going to even the preliminary hearing.
No, ma'am.
Do not talk back to me. This has been going on, like I said, since August, and you keep coming in here hearing after hearing after hearing, telling me you're going to get an attorney, telling me you don't want a court-appointed attorney. And
You told me I did not qualify for a court-appointed attorney.
well, you told me you made $70,000 a year.
Do you want me to lie?
Nope. But if you're making $70,000 a year, you can afford your own attorney instead of socking it to the taxpayers, don't you think?
And I hired one. And
All
then
right, then let's go. Why?
no, ma'am. No, ma'am. I want a change of venue. I feel like I'm faced unfair judgment. I spoke to Daniel, Miss Gillette's boyfriend, personally at the tire shop. He admitted to them two discussing my case in the privacy of their own home. I have a personal relationship with him. Miss Marianne Shirley told me Miss Gillette does not like me. And from all the cases I'm getting thrown at me afterwards, it ought to show what kind of games are being played here from the state side. Miss Simon has sent two people after me to try and get my butt whooped. One of them's name is Alan Greenwood. The other one's name is Tyler Stafford. She keeps driving by my house harassing me. I made a Facebook post the other day. She's tried logging into my Facebook, my Snapchat. She keeps liking everything on TikTok. She has logged into my...
Stop.
Judge, may I address some of the issues, please?
I was getting ready to ask you your opinion, please, Steve.
Judge, he did remodel Mr. Green's home. Mr. Green has nothing to do with my job. Mr. Beal has been in Mr. Green's shop multiple times demanding that he talk to me about his case. I have instructed Mr. Green when we first started dating, anyone that shows up to your shop and mentions anything that has to do with my job, your response is, I have nothing to do with her job. Mr. Beal has been in there multiple times. Mr. Green's been instructed that Mr. Beal, if he comes in there, to tell him, I have nothing to do with her job. You'll have to call her office and deal with her office. I have said that I do not want Mr. Beal to come by the house because I don't feel comfortable with him. Mr. Beal has made numerous posts about the Elk County Sheriff, the Greenwood County Sheriff, myself, and other people on his Facebook. I am aware of them. People screenshot them, show them to me, and make me aware of them. Mr. Beal brought his actions upon himself. I treat him the same as any other defendant. In fact, I have other defendants that have had way more cases in front of me than he has, and in front of the courts. It does not create a personal conflict of interest because I don't know Mr. Beal. I have no relationship with Mr. Beal other than the fact that he remodeled the guy I'm dating's house. With that being said, it has no bearing on this. And that is the only two things that he's been told is that he's not allowed here because of the stuff he's posted on Facebook. There's no social media there is from anyone here. There's no newspaper articles that would require a transfer of venue. Mr. Beal does not understand the intricacies of a change of venue motion nor its requirements. Mr. Paul does understand what a change of venue is required. And a change of venue would not be appropriate in this matter because Mr. Paul is correct. It doesn't meet the requirements of a change of venue. There's no media, there's no bias, there's no anything in the community. And if it goes to jury trial, there's not been enough media to require a change of venue. Defendants don't always know what the exact intricacies of the law are, and they hear of things such as a change of venue and think that it would apply in their case when their lawyer knows the best about the law. I was a defense attorney for years, and I had to deal with the very same issue with my own clients over and over again. And I would tell them the same thing and break down the law for them that a change of venue isn't appropriate. I don't have a personal conflict with Mr. Beal. I really don't have an opinion of him other than what I read in the affidavits that are come before me. And I base my decisions on the affidavits before me and the circumstances
back.
regarding each case and the number of cases that are
It's
before me
like
when I make agreements, pleas, or decisions for
Somebody
trial.
again.
None of that has anything to do with anything personal. I don't know why he keeps saying Mary Ann said something like that, but Miss Shirley's a very qualified attorney, and I don't know what was in their private conversation. At the point that came up in one of his very first hearings, I hadn't even really discussed him in front of Miss Shirley. Mr. Beal does have a case in Elk County that I did prosecute, and he does have a conviction in that case, and I am aware of that case. But having prior cases with the same defendant does not disqualify a prosecutor.
Yeah, I am.
Daniel got brought up.
Prosecutor, sir, stop. I told,
Daniel got brought up.
sir,
by
I
my
told you, you do
attorney.
not control this hearing.
I have my freedom of speech.
You
Daniel's
do not
name got
have your
brought up.
freedom. Sir, you do not have the right to say anything you want, anytime you want in this court. You will speak when you're asked questions and given the opportunity to speak, but you're not going to just keep interrupting and telling the court what you think. Mr. Paul, your motion to withdraw is granted. Now, what are we going to do about you and your attorney, Mr. Perez Bill? I've been using this excuse that you don't have an attorney for a year now. What are you going to do?
Judge, may I be excused?
You are excused, Mr. Paul. Again, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
Welcome.
I am requesting a continuance so I can hire another attorney. Mr. Paul has given me a name of somebody he recommends, but on the record, Your Honor, Mr. Paul,
That cat goes
he
bananas.
is the one who let me know about Daniel, about the attorney, about the county attorney, Mrs. Gillette, and Daniel, her boyfriend, speaking about me in the privacy of their own home. Mr. Paul's the one who brought that to my attention.
Well, I don't know how
Mr. Paul was told to have Mr. Beal stop going into Mr. Green's place of business to discuss the case. Mr. Paul and I talked about that, and he was to relay to Mr. Beal to stay out of Daniel's shop and trying to get information about his case through Mr. Green. Mr.
I was
Green
not doing that.
nothing
All right,
to
folks,
do
stop.
with the case.
Okay, everybody stop. All right. Let's get this, I'm tempted to make you go to prelim today without an attorney because you can't just keep coming in here saying, I want a continuance, and not go to the hearing.
Frankly, Judge, if he wants to continue to harass the guy I'm dating, that's intimidation of the.
I went in there one
All
time
right,
to teach him
stop.
about our case.
Stop, or I'm going to make you come to court where I can have an officer put you.
Hey, please make him come to court and arrest his butt. He has a bad attitude. That's stalking, harassment of the prosecutor's boyfriend. Put his butt in jail. He needs to be in jail.
you in custody for contempt if you keep interrupting and taking over like you're doing. Now, I've let your attorney off the hook, but I want to know who you're hiring in his place.
I can't, I have his name written down on a piece of wood at work. It's an attorney from El Dorado.
That's a lie.
I was told to, sorry, my phone messed up.
How long is this attorney going to take to get ready for preliminary hearing?
I'm not sure. I asked Mr. Paul if he'd be willing to speak to him and get him up to date on my case, and he said he would. But Mr. Paul told me, let's get through this first.
You actually posted your bond
But
July
I still,
9th. You know that? You posted your bond July 9th of 23. You didn't have an attorney enter until January 12th of 24. And now by April 19th of 24, you're back to no attorney again.
I planned on hiring Mrs. Shirley, I think 2 times, and
Why
she
didn't
told me she didn't want to do it.
All right.
Referred me to Mr. Paul. I finally got through to Mr. Paul, but then there's been 3 accounts now that Mr. Paul told me, I'll call you on such and such day. I'll call you on such and such day.
Okay. That's
Never.
not helping any. That's not helping me.
I believe he's lying out through his teeth. He's worse than Lionel Michelle Preston of Otter's Creek. That's it, man. Put him in jail. People, make sure you hit the thumbs up and subscribe. So let's get back to it.
Any. I want to know who you're hiring, when you're hiring them, and when I can set this for real hearing.
I don't know the name of the guy off the top of my head, but he's out of El Dorado.
Where's
And I
his
have to
office?
speak.
Where's his office located?
I don't know. Yes, ma'am.
He's lying again.
Miss
Hey,
Gillette.
son, go play for a minute.
What?
Would you go play for a minute? I'll be right there, okay?
Miss Gillette, how long would it take you? How soon can you get these witnesses back for prelim again?
Judge, if you're going to continue their subpoenas and require they be at the next date and give the date today so that they know when it is, then we can do it at their availability. I know that some of them have taken off work to be present or maybe at work.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm really inclined to just go ahead and do the preliminary hearing. Because he's had so many times to have an attorney here, and he had one and he got rid of him.
If we're going to
It was
continue
a
it,
mutual decision.
if we're going to continue it, I would ask for approximately 30 days because again, I have to send them new subpoenas, Judge.
I
But if
can't
they know
afford to
that,
be bound, like you said, under their existing.
yeah, and we know where they are. I mean, it's not like they're moving around. They're all in the area. The Sydney Simon is was his significant other. I know there's a divorce that's
Is
been
she
pending or
the-
may be granted.
Is she the alleged victim?
Actually, Mr. Simon's one of the alleged victims.
Now, what do you think about just doing the prelim today without an attorney, since he's had so many opportunities?
Cut.
Are you talking to me?
No, I'm talking to Ms. Gillette.
Okay, sorry.
Judge, if we go through with the prelim today, I just don't know how Mr. Bill will know the intricacies of the law in questioning witnesses and allowing questions and testimony.
Thank you.
Solid year you've had, and how do I know this is going to be any different than all the other times?
How true?
Because I don't have much choice here. My future's at stake.
You belong in.
Right
Judge,
is right,
I
right
would,
is right and wrong is wrong, Your Honor. When I read through the discovery that Mr. Paul granted me, Joe, Kim, and Sydney and Miss Officer Fisher, all 3 of them lied. Right is right and wrong is wrong, and I want a proper chance to defend myself.
Judge, perhaps we should set a PHC date on April 26th, 1 week from today, to see what progress he has to hiring an attorney. And that way we keep on the short stick of getting a new attorney for him on board, and then we can set a preliminary hearing control or actual prelim with that attorney present.
I'm not sure that'll give me enough time to gather funds to hire the attorney. I will speak to him today, see what it's gonna cost.
Well, you should get a refund of any money that you didn't use from Mr. Paul, I'm sure. I don't know what your contract was.
Man, this is stupid. He must be another Karen, but a male Karen. This is weird. So I want to thank y'all. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and you see it, the screen word to donate, either Cash App or to my post office box. You know I got kitty cats. You can send me stuff about the kitty cats, that they can need, canned cat food and stuff like that. Let's get back to it. You all don't want to hear me talk. You want to hear this because it's about 30 minutes.
I'm going
Mr. Spall,
to set this over for 1 week. Be back here by Zoom at 1:30 with your attorney, and I want you live in the courthouse. Not in your car, not at your job, live in the Greenwood County Courthouse. Now, if you have an attorney, and he wants to appear by Zoom, he can do so. But I want you in the courthouse. Now,
and that would be live in court in front of you.
I'll be in the courthouse. Now then, to the
Hey!
witnesses, you do not have to be back here. That's not going to be that type of hearing. But if you want to, you're certainly welcome to be either on the Zoom call like we're doing now, or watch by YouTube or whatever you and Miss Gillette work out. But we need to get it resolved one way or another. We will.
I want to get this done and behind me. But the
Yeah,
truth's the
well,
truth, Your Honor. I'm facing a lot of unfair judgment. Lies been told on that. When I read that discovery, it's nothing but a
Mr.
lie.
Lewis, or Mr. Jones, we're gonna have a real problem. I'm sorry, a Perez bill. Yes, I know who it is.
Hold on.
Mr. Perez bill, you and I need to have an understanding that there are certain times defendants speak, there are certain times prosecutors speak, there are certain times witnesses speak, and there are certain times judges speak. All of our conversations are recorded, and they are subject to being typed up into records by court reporters. If we're all talking at once, that reporter is not going to have a very good time trying to type the transcript. So in the future, control your urge to burst out, because we're not going to keep doing that.
There's nobody more frustrated than an innocent man.
Well, you may be innocent, but you're still going to follow the court rules.
Yes, ma'am.
Guilty, you're going to follow the rules and the procedures. So, all right. We'll be in
Your Honor,
recess. What?
may I say something, Your Honor?
Go ahead.
1 week is not going to give me time to acquire the funds to hire this attorney.
You could afford Mr. Paul, but you cannot afford another attorney?
It's not going to give me time to gather the funds to hire a new attorney.
All right. Missy, see if William McClendon can take an appointment. I'm going to appoint an attorney. You don't have to use him, but he better be here, and he better be ready to go. Where did the defendant go? Is he saying to turn your screen on?
Bet his battery died.
I can't give you credit for being in court if you don't come to court and stay at court until your turn is over. Mr. Perez, I'm going to have to issue a warrant for your arrest if you do not join us, Mr. Perez. And he's gone.
I'm guessing he lost signal.
You think he lost signal or he just didn't like what he was
You
hearing?
like what he's hearing.
Or is it even fair to guess? I don't.
He's had bad connections before, Judge. I make notes when there's technical issues in his different files over his different cases.
Some to-do show up. Unexpected.
Missy, appoint Mr.
Okay, I just,
I
He
told
must
you.
have gotten it back if he called the clerk's office. Must have been totally dead.
he's trying to download Zoom on a different device.
Oh. Not behind her, we get him because of.
Throw him in
we can't
jail.
have the hearing
Throw him in
over by
jail.
now.
I apologize, Your Honor. My phone died.
Okay, well, that's another good reason why if you're at the courthouse, you won't have to worry about that. I was getting close to revoking your bond, thinking you'd bailed intentionally, but you haven't, so I'll continue your bond with all existing conditions. I'm appointing Attorney William McClendon if he can take the case. If not, Missy maybe can find someone else. And we're gonna have this April 27 at 1:30 for your next hearing. If you can hire another attorney, you're welcome to do it. Anything else? No contact with any witnesses or victims, and the victims and witnesses better not have any contact with him either.
Judge, did you say you were going to appoint William McClendon, but he may have to pay for his services?
That's what I said. And stay away as a condition of your bond, stay away from Daniel, what's the last name, Miss Gillette?
Mr. Green, Your Honor.
Stay away from Daniel Green, his shop, his home, wherever he may be.
I do business there.
Well, you're gonna probably have to do business somewhere else. What kind of business do you do there?
Tires.
He's the
Tire?
manager.
Tires
He's the
left and right.
manager. He's the manager of the Severy Co-op Tire Shop.
Is there no other tire shop that you can go to?
That's where my account is.
Now I know there are tire stores in Eureka, and they're not very far from there.
I understand that, but as many tires as I go through in my line of work, I have a charge account there. If I have a tire blow out on a trailer or a truck, I either go in or help goes in, gets it taken care of.
Well, Mr. Perez Beal, for now, you're gonna have to do something.
Or somebody else.
What?
He could send one
I
of
can
his
deal with somebody
helpers.
else. I can deal with his brother or the help. But please don't make this any more difficult than it already has been.
Sir, I haven't made this anything. I'm the one that's upset that it's taking so long to get it resolved. But I'm telling you to stay away from that gentleman and work something else out. You know, you're not the first person that's been in this bind and had to have no contact orders, even though they were inconvenient. And stay away from Miss Gillette and her office. You go through your attorney. Your attorney wouldn't want you down there talking to them and calling them either. Make sure you understand my rules and you follow them, or you can sit in jail until we get through this.
Can I still deal with the place of business, just not Daniel?
Can you not talk about your case with any of them?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Gillette, what's your response to that? I don't know if these people want him in their shop. Maybe they do.
I've been friends with him a long time.
If he stops through there and he deals with either Luke or one of the other guys, I don't have a problem with that.
Thank you.
But no discussing his case, no discussing my job. My job is my job. My personal life is my personal life, and I have explained that to Mr. Green when we first started dating. My ex-husband was an attorney and understood that, but my current
New world.
person I'm dating is not legal, does not understand the legal process.
Okay. Now, Mr. Perez Bill, I hope you understand enough of the process to follow the terms of your bond so you don't have to get locked back up. And if
Please.
this young lady or somebody's calling him, I'm gonna tell you to stop it. Nothing good can come of that. So you two have children in common?
Yes, ma'am. We have 3.
Okay, but you're going through someone else to exchange them for visits?
For the longest time, we were going through the babysitter who she filed a PFA against
That's
me.
right. The babysitter got a PFA too, didn't she?
Yeah, how does that work? I show up to get my children on a day when I was supposed to get them. My ex-wife decided to keep the children from me, and I take pride in being a dad. I love being a dad. And there's been nothing but games played with my children left and right ever since. I was supposed to get them this past Tuesday. I didn't get them I didn't get the older 2 until yesterday.
Need to take that up in another court. That's not part of this case. So with this time, we'll be in recess. You can go if you can follow the rules of the bond. If you can't, tell me now.
I can. So we are April 27th at 1:30. Will
I
you
wrote-
be giving?
I wrote down April 26th. Missy, which is it?
It is April 26th, and that's Friday, next Friday at 1:30.
Will I get information about this attorney you have appointed?
Missy, why don't you give him his name and number?
Can I email it to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Can you use Gretchen email?
Yes.
Thank you, Missy.
In fact, I'm just gonna make it a blanket that you stay away from all the judicial staff except for your attorney, unless you are doing business, essential business. Because Missy doesn't need to be dragged into any of these phone calls, even taking messages. All right, so we're in recess. You all may go.
So I want to thank you all. I hope you enjoyed tonight. You know, so I want to thank you all. I hope this helps you out, helps me out on my subscribers. I need 1,000 watch hours, people. You know, I hope this helped me out with more subscribers, because it seems like the other YouTube channels I watch, that's what you all people want. So I want you all to think TV triumphs beware. Subscribe to his channel. Look at last night's video that him and other people done, which I got into his live stream. I want to thank TB. And I watched another YouTube channel. Found out somehow, I guess YouTube's doing it to people, unscribing them from channels. I guess. I don't know, but I had to subscribe again. And I cannot, I wonder how come I'm not getting some of these videos. I go to check, found out I got unscribed. I don't know what happened. But this dumbwaiter, I'm going to call him dumbwaiter. And I know in Indiana and Kentucky, all somebody needs is your first name and last name. They can search you up on the internet. Then they can find out what county you live in. Then they have your address. There's sites that you can go to. They can get your phone number. And I know Indiana and Kentucky, I know especially Kentucky. I love the DUI guy, but I had filed complaint against attorney in Kentucky years and years, over 5 years ago. In the paperwork, it states not to let anybody know about it or advertise it and so on. Yeah, YouTube, Instagram, places like that. You could be held in contempt. I got a video, I saved it because dumbwaiter says, I give you permission. So that invalidate his complaint. Any attorney anywhere in the United States, they're going to check you out. When you give them permission to do that, they're not liable anymore. I used to help attorney out years ago. I looked stuff up on the internet. I research in Westlaw, Indiana law books, and the federal law books. You all know what I'm talking about. And like I say, I think dumbwaiter is doing some good work out there. I appreciate that. But instead of editing people, you edit your video, you do that to make you all look good. That's my opinion. But I try to tell the truth. Anybody can do a YouTube channel. There's people out there that will help you. Remember, you big YouTube people got 25,000 or more or 400,000. Help us out. Tell us what we're doing wrong. Because I advertise other people's YouTube channels, to help them out. And this one guy, he was on early today. And one of his videos, I saved it. He might took it down. Is it showed him taking the needle, shooting up in his arm. Diabetes people don't shoot in their arm. And I don't know what the terms of his release is for murder and all that, but it was dismissed without prejudice. That means they can come back on the person. And you see on the bottom of this idiot, to me, it's hate crime. It's a cult. You all remember John Jones, Jim Jones, whatever he went by back over, I say over 10 years ago. It might be longer. You all remember Jim Jones, John Jones, the cult leader. You remember that? That's a cult. And this YouTuber is a cult. He's a hate person. God don't want you to hate. Don't get down on other YouTube channels. Where's the proof? Like, I got videos of dumbwaiter, which that's public records. I got the whole thing not cut like dumbwaiter's doing. He plead guilty, this and that. Got probation. That's only my opinion. What part of the law I know. But man, if you're going to show proof, show it in the whole thing. Don't cut it and add something else to it. Show the whole thing. That's what, that'll help your case out better if you do the whole video instead of cutting and splicing, cutting and whatever, how you edit. I don't know. But I want my people who come to my YouTube channel, I want them to see the truth because I'm 70 plus years old. I don't understand how to do it. And so I want you all to think about it. It's up to you who you all want to watch. I'm not going to tell you, but I want you all to use common sense. I want to try something. I don't think I'm going to share it, but like I say, okay, people, make sure you watch What the Hells in about nine minutes, if I'm right. Tune to their channel. And it says in What the Hell, there's 684 people waiting. Cops in Otto's Creek update. Does that mean they're going to arrest Lynette Michelle Preston? We have to wait and see. Can I live stream him on my channel? I don't know. But since it's news, it's a catch-22, if you know what I mean. So, Jeremy, I hope you don't get mad at me. But I think I'm going to live stream it on my channel. And I want your all people who's watching my channel, make sure you go to What the Hells, subscribe to his channel. I don't think Jeremy would get mad. YouTube, I don't know. Have to wait and see. But I want to let you all know what Jeremy's going through by this stalker. Jeremy is just a snowbird. He comes to Florida in the wintertime. She followed him to Otter's Creek. Tonight, you saw when I shared a video from Ashley, you heard what she said about her stepmom and the CPS person. There'd be other parts to that. So I'm going to go back to live stream. I got about 7 minutes more until Jeremy comes live. So I hope it's okay with Jeremy, because I'm telling you all, go over to his channel, subscribe to his channel, because it gives him more subscribers. Will it help me out by live streaming him? Maybe not. But your people wants to know this. So I know copyright laws. This is kind of a news story in my book. This is WTSC Channel 11 News Media in Northern Clark County, Indiana. Mostly I do local news where the TV people don't come out to the boondocks of Northern Clark County or Scott County. Just like yesterday, I done the sales bond. That is news for Scott County and Clark County or anybody who lives close to me. And, you know, that's what I'm trying to do, bring the news to the people. There's a whole lot of people that watch What the Hells. So I hope you enjoy the 2 videos I done on Ashley. I want you to say prayers to Ashley and her family, because all Lynette kids and grandkids and stepkids all got protective orders against them because they trying to protect their family from an abuser. Okay, as Jeremy has told you, do not contact Lynette, John Cook, or any people that he talks about. Don't even call the courthouse and jump all over that a-hole judge. You know, I forget his name. I'll call him Jack Donkey. That's what he is. He's doing the same thing to other people that's in his court. I hope the Court of Appeals or whatever it is just remove him from the bench, period, because he's violating everybody's rights. He's not following the rules of court for the state of Florida. He's not following the Constitution of the United States. He's trying to make up his own rules. So, you know, I don't like it. You know, when you got crooked place judges and politicians, it's time to get rid of them. 3 minutes to go until What the Hell's go live if you like to watch him. But I'm going to try to share it on my live stream. If you want to subscribe to my channel, it's okay. I'm trying to do what you all asked me to. And I just want to warn you, if I'm still alive and able to next year on Thunder over Louisville, I stream the whole show. But when it comes to the fireworks or the dome show, you won't hear the music. Some countries, it's illegal. You know, you all have the right to watch your videos. You have your rights to your comments. But I have explained to you in my room, my YouTube channel, keep everything PG. No cussing, no foul language, no talking about other people's YouTube channels unless they're good. Because there's children watching YouTube with their parents. You know, just remember that, or the guardian. So just remember that. I get mad and I say a few bad words, except, you know, my kitty cats is my children. Some of them act like they're in their terrible twos. So it says 2 minutes on my clock. Well, my computer screen says a minute. So if I could do it again, that makes, I don't share screen and hit enter. So here it is. You know, we know in about a minute, people. So I don't know. Oh, there it is. Cops in Otter Creek update. What the hell? 684 waiting. Scheduled for 4/28/24 at 8 p.m. That's true. YouTube is the largest media platform in the world. It's 8 o'clock, maybe. He's slow. There's bad weather all over the United States. And I forget what state it is. If you put it in the chat, people, you know where they had some bad weather this weekend or this week or last week. I forget, this is Sunday. It starts a new week of tornadoes and wind damage. So, there's 684 people waiting for what the hell? Counting me, maybe it's 685 and you all. Because I don't think it ever start on time. Or maybe like everybody else is having internet problems. That's all I've been having. And people, I'm using StreamYard on my computer. It's easy to it's not an app. You type StreamYard into your browser, whatever you're using. And it takes you through the steps. You got the free version, that's 20 hours a month. It depends how long you live stream in a month's time. If you stream 10 hours a month, that'll get you by. If you stream 30 hours a week, you might want to go to the paid version. It's $15 to $19 a month. I got the $19. Then I found out that I could have done it for $15 a month. That's my fault. But, you know, when you up in your search engine and you're on StreamYard, you hit the other plus sign, add like YouTube to it. And I'm going to try to explain it. You, on StreamYard, it says present. Then a screen will pop up to share. Okay, if you got YouTube up there in your second top up there, when you hit share, YouTube will pop up, then it says Chrome. After that, you hit enter on your computer. That's where I've been screwing up, people. So I want to thank TB, Triumphs Beware. Go look at his live stream he done last night. Another YouTuber, he needs our help. They start a GoFundMe page and another page because some people don't like GoFundMe. He been in jail over 9 months and all that, and the sheriff or police department in that county, I think it's Texas. You know, you have to watch TB YouTube channel, otherwise known as the boss. I asked him, I said, "You're married?" He said, "Yep." I said, "You're not the boss then." I said, "She is." Said, "She's not in here." But TB is short for Triumphs Beware. Watch his YouTube channel. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. You know, you will like it. I like it. If it wasn't for TV, on StreamYard, I don't know where I'd be. Probably pulling my hair out, something like that. I just took my razor and, my electric razor. You can get one of them at a local store, dollar store, family dollar store, or anything like that, cheap. Just follow the instruction on it, keep it clean, this and that, and you save your money on haircuts. I don't know what it costs to go to a barber shop. I don't have the extra money. When I was back in high school, I used to have my hair down to my rear end. I was what they consider as a hippie. You know what the hippies are. Peace, peace and love and not war. The hate groups out there, they want to make war, make you hate other people. They're a cult. Cult people will hurt you. Oh, there's another YouTube channel. It's live. Let's see. Oh, it's CFW Carolina in wherever it is. Started 30 seconds ago. Okay, it's CFW Carolina in Fort Worth. See, people, that's what it is. Like I say, the internet's problem tonight, people. Don't ask me why.
Heard purgatory. So when we're going to share exactly
there's actually, if you're not a member already, there is a video of Baby Pepper attending her first live auction. So that was pretty exciting.
complain about, I can't afford to be a member. That's okay. You can't afford a hoodie either then. And it's for people who want it, who can afford it. It's all right. If you can't afford it, there is plenty of free content every single day provided to you.
We try, because life does get in the way. We try and release a pre-recorded video to you every day, Monday through Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it costs you $0. It's free. And we go live every Sunday, which is free also.
So I have to admit, it does get frustrating when people complain about not being able to afford the other membership videos, even though we provide them free videos as it is anyway, almost every single day. And while it is free to the planet, it is cost well over $1 million to produce all of the videos. And I mean, honestly, it's probably over 2 million now to produce all of the videos that we have created. It is a tremendous, huge undertaking and an expense to us.
It is similar. I mean, it does hurt my heart when people do complain. It's similar to, I guess you can compare it to world, and then you pay extra for additional perks. It's similar to that. So like if you go to a concert and you pay extra for
I gotta run in the kitchen and grab some
passes, what is backstage passes?
If you want it, if you don't,
right. You want it. It's optional. If not, you're still getting free content. So either way, it's a win-win. And so,
if you go to a concert, you got to pay. And if you go to an adventure park, you got to pay. And there is an adventure park in Otter Creek. It is a town within a town. Tube Town, baby.
Again, population
1. I haven't been to Tube Town. I'm at Trails headquarters, but I have yet to ever be to Tube Town. So in all regards to the weather, many of you understand that the weather has been completely and totally crazy this week. And many of you are seeing torrential downpours and tornadoes and just scary weather. And to come back from the south all the way up north for 15 plus hours on the road. So I left. It was a split second decision. I literally left at 6 a.m. I stopped 4 times and 4 times only. And that was to refill with diesel. And when you're pulling a load, the diesel doesn't last long. So I had to stop 4 times for diesel. And to pull a 20-foot enclosed trailer, which really, if you think about it, if a wind gust comes in, it's a parachute. And frankly, George doesn't know this yet, but I'm about to share it with everybody. It was all over the road for the first 4 to 5 hours because George didn't put the until I figured out. I heard a huge crash.
What's wrong with the internet tonight?
And it was the Gator in drive instead of park. Because George put the Gator in the trailer and the Gator crashed in.
Internet sucks tonight, people.
Into all of the totes and destroyed everything. And when I
I hate this.
Stopped to get diesel. I went, what in the world was that? And it was the Gator, and I put it in park. And then once I had it in park and it wasn't going back and forth in the trailer was on the straight and narrow. I didn't have any more swaying on the road. But it's like
do that?
it's like a huge parachute. Literally, when you're in all that wind and the gusts come and the rain comes, and it was already scary enough the first 4 to 5 hours. And then once I got it under control, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad I didn't drive in the weather. And that would have been so ridiculous.
He would have wrecked.
Ridiculously dangerous.
I do remember when we first moved.
What's the cop doing
Down to Florida, and
Oh man.
oh my gosh, I drove my Jeep right behind Jeremy, and he was pulling the
Spectrum is going crazy tonight.
I'm just white knuckling the steering wheel because you could see the camper just getting hit with the air, like the wind was hitting.
Literally.
Come on, move.
You feel it, and it's dragging.
Watching him fishtail.
And I was scared to death, and I was the one
I
driving.
was scared for you driving behind you. It was a scary experience. And then right before the Georgia-Florida line is when we caught a flat tire. And that was the first time I ever saw my first roadkill.
I want to welcome everybody.
Of an armadillo.
Well, you always got to have an armadillo, right?
Barb T, thank you for gifting 5. What the hell's member? Ships. Mayor Dan's in the house. 2 counts in the house. The population of 1, which Willis is in the house. Leanne says, Jeremy, always remember, it's never George's fault.
George is always the
Leanne, you obviously have never lived with George. So.
Did I do that?
So I got here with 4 stops and pushing straight through, jumping on everybody's live streams that I could, from What You Doing, Willis, to Conky's Flippin' Adventures, and I even learned, this is the first time I've ever done this. I logged in and I was watching. I wasn't actually watching, but I was listening to Netflix movies. I put it up on the dash, and I was listening to Netflix movies. I was like, "Oh, that really helped." The last third of the road trip, I went
Yeah.
through 3 movies, and it really helped.
Thank you, Michelle Hoffert.
But there,
Spectrum internet sucks tonight, people. Anybody else having this problem?
there's nothing better to watch than to see the Popo over at the Turd Hole Purgatory.
Did you find that odd?
You know what? I feel like I don't say odd nearly enough, to be honest.
Moles 10 versus Turtles 0. Glad you made it safe.
So we are gonna we do know finally we teased earlier this week that we had no idea why the deputy was over at the at Turd Hole Purgatory. Now, thanks to everybody trying to communicate third party and incriminating Lynette and Crook, we now know. And so we will be sharing with that in just a
Again, wait till you hear how ridiculous the reasoning is. I bet Levy County is just so frustrated with the phone call.
I bet the deputies are going to put out an injunction on them so they can't call anymore. And you know, every deputy should run to the courthouse and file for an run to the courthouse like Lynette does and file for an injunction.
Thank you, Renee. Yeah, here's the thing: no street deputies will be dispatched any longer. It will only be supervisors, minus Tom Martin. And many of those are out there right now. Realize that Amanda Martin is on the search for a new job. Although it would
I'm sorry, people, but internet gave me a bad time tonight. So I want to thank you all. Sorry, but